Hurry up, like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, or you'll never win another Fortnite game.
Final region for the entire weekend for the Fortnite Champion Series here in Season X. And we're going to fill the board with what feels like about 1 billion names right here across the top. There's a lot of really good players. Remember, not Tfue, not Mongraal, not Bugha. These 3 players put on a big show. Really wish you guys would change your names to something that is readable, as people know who you are, but it's all good.
Hey, Fortnite Focus fans.
Hello, Fortnite Focus fans.
Want more V-Buck giveaways? Make sure to use code COOL in the item shop, and we'll continue to give out redemption codes just like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out.
These guys are very aggressive, and then this team in particular, again, the scented Edgey rehx, all have the ability of not only chaining high placements, but having the high elims to back it up, which will allow them to continue to roll. But we'll see if the trend holds true.
Honestly, took the rest of the players with them for all we know, because everyone fell at that point, but it doesn't matter. As we are jumping back with another trio here. Scented, Edgey, and rehx here, they have to move it. They're getting to the zone. They're now in the safety here. That was crazy.
Yep, thankfully this trio is all alive, so we don't have to kind of designate who's who. We can just keep saying scented, Edgey, and rehx. Boys, once again, change your names. Let's keep it going. Let's not fool around anymore. No fooling around here, though, as they're making sure they're going to be full topped off on shield. On movement is where you get hit the most, and it's the hardest to heal up when you have to move in the moving circles. Big uphill battle here for these guys on this mid-ground there, and the launch pad actually gets blocked. I think Scented gets left behind. Wheels, Homie, and Borrow are all the way at the top of the map.
And that's an early high ground take, so we'll see if they can actually dictate the pace by keeping the pressure up. Great shield bubble here is going to keep them in the game, but everyone has the same skin right now. Keo Fishy, this is Gen G and rehx's teammate right there. Keo Fishy, he's going to get all of them. As you can see right there, players are just getting dropped, and there are so many enemies down there. He comes right back up.
The ripple effect
wearing
of
the
server.
same skins,
yeah,
can be so scary sometimes.
Absolutely insane. I'm not even sure how they figured out who was who. It did cost them a lot. Looks like Mongraal Bugha now is at 8 HP completely. They do just have 2 elims apiece. The placement points just came in. We go and change over to Mac and 1X from KNG. We'll see exactly what he's doing. A very kind of risky strat on timing. He's kind of looking back immediately with his minigun and actually dropping in the zone, looking for elims on people all the way in the back. Very unexpected. No one can see that coming. People voluntarily giving up their position, but he catches up with that shockwave. Takes 50 HP damage, though. Very hard to get back at this moment. He's going to need a siphon in this endgame.
He just got really greedy. Seeing that many players, sometimes you just have to risk it all for the points, right? He jumps in, he gets into the thick of it. Maximo's going to go down here, and he still doesn't have too much, but he still has a couple of shockwaves, which again, he's using the minigun shockwave combo to just challenge the high ground, make it hard for them. We talk about the best high ground players dictate the pace. They're dictating the pace right now, and the high ground is theirs as he needs some backup with this squad right now.
Yep, third time is the charm. He gets up, 1 more shockwave left just for insurance in case another person comes in. He actually goes up even higher. Looks like he might have been getting broken down. Goes for a nice tack shotgun down on the way down. Not possible. The last trio now left alive. Mackin down to 18 HP on the backside of a mountain. Zone coming up. Needs a siphon over here. Not possible. He goes down, and I think rehx was at the bottom. Mongraal Bugha and Mongraal now on height. I believe it's Edgey and rehx. They're going to be moving up. No, that many elims on them right now. The placement potential is there. There could be shockwaves and a lot of other action possible in this endgame.
And that's right. That's why the minigun pressure is real here. This is the trio that set the bar with the minigun endgames, and this is how they like to do it. They put the pressure down, they apply it hard, and they make sure you stay stuck to the back zone. And they are just making sure they take a textbook victory in the final moments there, Shayo. Well played.
Otherwise, the top trio, 4 of the 5 of us predicted them closing out the match and storming their way up the standings with 2 matches done in NA West. Let's take a look and see where we stand after that last victory royale coming out from the favorites. They're up at the top with the winners, the favorites, Scented, Edgey, rehx going to work right now, building up, retake the high ground, and you can see over and over again when they do get challenged, they're able to go back up, and that minigun doesn't pose a threat to them when a lot of other trios would potentially be back down. They're the only ones who are able to stay together and stay concise. This is one of the first times we've seen 12 players, or 6 teams up, and then 12, which means there's 2 or more full trios, but they were the ones who were able to ride it all the way out while Wheels goes to work on the low ground. The high rate of fire weapons and the priority on position is enough for them to edge it out. They're currently in first place by 1 point. They have a victory royale in their back pocket, and honestly, once they get warmed up, they're that much scarier. Once they get rolling, once they get in a rhythm, they have that type of swagger, that type of confidence to them where they go and challenge, they know for a fact they're going to get hype. And if they can keep that level of presence up, it doesn't matter who's challenging them, who's in the last spot, they'll be ready to take it home and challenge those opponents. I think they want that 3v2 now as we hop on over to some more brutal action on the side as we have sent it. Edgey and rehx posted up. 127 damage above, and right now just trying to play gatekeeper with it, looking out towards the storm, not allowing these players to rotate, opting to swap over to the rifles because they saw the tags. Andrew gets knocked down.
I like that exclamation. I liked and subscribe to your face. All right, here we go. They have the 1 elimination, so that knock is going to give them 2 more points. They are sitting at a comfortable 35, but that does not mean they are going to slow down. Where is the last player? He's trying to keep the players alive. It looks like he will also go down. That is both of them cleaned up.
But in your bottom right-hand corner, the current leaders, 37 points. Scented, Edgey, rehx sitting on the retail row loot. 847 light ammunition. When do they go up? How do they go up, and who challenges them? That is the question. Typically, it's Zone 6. Zone 5 is just now closing, and they got Prio. Do they shockwave up? Do they 90 up? Do they wait and go late? These are the questions. This is the best trio in the West. 8 tournament wins. How do they execute on this, and can they close the game out when they have everything they need but the current high ground position?
Yeah, if they can get that, they're literally, I'm telling you, Mongraal Bugha, whichever one of the 3 he is going to sit on the high ground and rain shells from above. They're just going to not see anything except light ammunition. They are going for this rotation on the safe side. But look at everyone else in the sky. There's so many people right now. Sundown, he finds himself a little nook, and this is it. He's challenging for the high ground. They know they have to get this, and they need to get it right now. They need to dictate the pace of everyone else in the lobby. People are starting to drop like flies. Persecute goes down. Don't forget, at top 12, we sit the first round of placement points. But watch the new safe zone. We're getting dangerously close to low grab. Here we go. They go up with a shockwave. They drop a bunch of people. Bugha eats a ton of damage. Drop down to 60 effective HP. He's going to shockwave back to reconnect with the team. Very close to edge here. Look, they do have the splashes as well to keep themselves topped off. But again, like you said, they need to keep challenging high ground. That is what they want. That's what they need. Great shot going to go out. I believe he must have caught himself up there. Looks like they just reconnect. It's okay. Tarping out as a group. Everything's okay, Sundown. They're joined at the hip, and that's what they need to be doing.
14 trios remaining. He did go up there looking for it, but there's still another trio on the other side. A couple players are getting sent all over the place. Great snipe. Looking back on the backside, you need to stay ramped out or they'll take advantage of it. Now he goes. It's the 7-circle high ground retake. He's going to look to reconnect with Bugha right there on the side. Excuse me, with Edgey right there on the side. Trying to push forward, catches the rockets, and now high ground is there.
I just wanted to touch on that survivability aspect. Your monitors were not broken there. That blue filter was just these guys in zone for that long. We've seen patterns in late game too. Everyone likes playing so passive. They sit on the edge of the circle. They eat storm. Maximo takes a big hit on his own body. He's going to be healing up. We'll see and tune in if he finds and stays alive in the late game. Now we see Mongraal moving in towards another trio. Looks like there's another box fight on the edge. The different perspective of this fight has Shockwave. Once again, the cost of the fight. How much do you want to invest early and make sure you don't lose too much late? There's already half his Shockwave's gone.
Here we go. That Shockwave, like you said, half the Shockwave's gone, but it did land a big hit there. An opportunity to take high ground. Didn't quite capitalize, but the player is still down underneath. Does get the drop. Looking for the follow-through on the edit. It's down to basically a 1v1. Finds Pieces. A 1v2, my apologies, but now it's a 1v1. Finds the white damage. No shield. Goes for the Siphon. Very high IQ play there. He has an opportunity to be more aggressive if he wants to, based on the fact that he knows he hit white damage. He hit HP damage. Maximo right now could push, could close this out on one of the highest ranked trios in West. We will see here in a second. Storm fighting again. You mentioned yourself, more passive play. We'll see here. The Storm is starting to move, my friend.
highest ranked trios, but where are their ranks in priorities on how they want to play the map? Look at how much time they invested on this. Yes, there's a launch pad. They're going to get help, though, and we've seen this with, you know, the real Bugha on NA East. He launch padded in. He didn't have time. Stretch went down too. Clarity was gone. Obviously, Clarity, Stretch aren't here right now, but, you know, Major Mongraal's not making it in either at all.
You say that now, but here we go. The launch pad. We'll see if he can make it all the way in. He does have to climb through the rest of this. It's a long trek past Salty. Luckily, it's unoccupied. And if they grab the card, this is a reboot potential right here, which could prove to be pretty important. You pick that third player up, and one of the best trios we've seen. Like I said, I wish their names were correct. HP back up. They do have shockwaves to move on in if they need to. Otherwise, you could just run it in. At this point, it's only ticking for 1 HP. Wavy Jacob pick it up a knock. Rich Homie Quinn goes down as well in the feed. Meanwhile, not Mongraal, not Tfue, and not Bugha, that's for sure. Setting up shop at the edge for a little bit of a storm hold. We will see. By the way, one of the Pelicans did just get knocked in the feed as well.
Okay, right now, though, for where we are, the Pelicans do have a long way to go. I think these guys might be making a mistake on what they're doing once again. We talked about it. The cost of doing these early game storm holds never actually come with good benefits.
True. That being said, this actually, they didn't necessarily know how much HP was left, unless they had engaged them previously. But pushing on the storm, Mongraal picks up some loot there. Quick eliminations. Both players were already very, very weak. So I would agree, in a majority of situations, making this kind of play call to sit and wait. It's happened literally multiple times today where players give up their positioning to fight right at the edge, and it ends up costing them because they have to move so far. But right here, it works out just simply because the players were already so low.
Yeah, it's a personal mistake that I usually make when I see a rainbow loadout with me and my team. You have shocks, you have a heavy sniper and an RPG. That's not really stuff you utilize to get these early game elims or have such a priority on, right? But this is why these guys are the pros. They know exactly how to divvy out the pressure and exactly what to use. Not that much HP damage taken either. It's very easily taken back from Siphon. One very interesting biome we're at now, though, is the big skull in the middle of the map from that Doggos versus Caddis fight we saw earlier on last season. Over here, that high ground, just like Gotham City, there might not be redeploy. For Pisa, there's no chance to survive. But when you're in this actual zone or this portion of the map, you can build all the way up. As long as you're connected to the sword that's in the monster's skull, you will actually not drop and have chances to catch yourself on the way down.
Kind of wild, a chance to get very, very high elevation up above as players are making this rotation. Bugha, Tfue, Mongraal going to make their way over to a launch pad that was placed not long ago. Loadsman down there in Blix as well on your screen. Players going to rotate in from behind. They might actually end up using the same launch pad, which means there you go, landing on the side of the hill, looking back, trying to take shots. These players that are still on the move. One flying all the way past. Looks like fake Bugha trying to find a landing zone down there so that these guys can keep on moving forward. You don't want to wait too long against the edge of the storm. You're going to pay the price in HP, which means if you make a mistake, and here we go, challenging up top. Take a look at this. Tfue looking back up from underneath. Opts for the launch, and Blix does go down, which means Loadsman still out there somewhere in the storm. This is an aggressive push to get back up, to get these materials, the siphon off of it, but Blix does go down. There's a little bit of a pickup. Actually very smart, because there are more rockets in there. More RPG shots going to prove important late game if they can make it all the way to the end. Ton of builds left. See Loadsman on your mini-map for just a second, flying in there. Looks like he's going to make his way into Gotham City. Right there, bobbing his way in down that little valley. Meanwhile, not Tfue, still stuck out in the river. Going to tick quite a bit, and there, hear that audio cue? That's the reboot van going down, and I guarantee you, you're about to see these guys are going to swan dive on it. No reason not to.
They hear exactly what's going on. It is shield bubble, which is very good. You brought up two very good points. Smart decisions, as well as timing and playing the amount of time you are in the game, right? It's game 6. You want to make sure you're making all the right calls, all the efficient calls as well. Mongraal with a big shot does miss, unfortunately. I want to give a quick shout out to Blix, actually, who did go down in that fight. These guys were landing blocked the whole time for the first 5 games. From where they are based, kind of context to their position, they kind of switched off where their landing spot was to get a better chance for the actual fight of the later in portion of the game. The big thing noted, though, once you're dropping at a spot you're not used to, that's where mid-game fights don't actually come into fruition. Right now, though, Major Mongraal looking in at Beam's white tags as well with stakes. This is huge for them.
This is a dirty third party, to be honest. They're sitting at the edge of the storm looking back through the blue, and there's 2 squads fighting it out in the storm. Even if they just get one tag, and then these guys end up not pressuring each other, that means these 3 sitting up on the hill do get those eliminations. You see still a little bit of a fight. There we go. The knock literally as I said, now Mongraal picks up the knock-on chicken. You see in the feed, Loadsman actually does finish that one off, which ends up being a siphon for the team on the outside. Player flying up, and there it is. And there it is. Loadsman goes down. These guys played that perfectly, waiting, just forcing the fight. Whether they or not they know that that last player is still inside Gotham remains to be seen, and we will find out here in a second. There it is, the shots from underneath. You're going to have those players up top try and coordinate as well. This is honestly one of the best plays they could have made. Even with Bugha pushing out into the storm, taking a little bit of damage there, they still picked up multiple elims off of this. And, I mean, they're still in a decent spot. Exactly what he ended up doing right there. You have J-Truth, Scrupples down there on the bottom. Mongraal, Tfue, and Bugha. Gonna hold this edit. Watch this combo right there. Big hit inside through the wall. Looks like some 116s from the rocket. They're gonna decide to apply pressure at this point. The heavy snipe still in Mongraal's inventory, I believe, is loaded, but behind. Bugha does get knocked. Gonna push back in. Quick reset on some of the surfaces. I don't think he got both the pyramid and the floor as he moved through there, so there's only half of what could be blocking out there, but it is metal, shouldn't be a big deal. The pickup right here, maybe a little mini and HP share. We'll see 53 points, a total of 8 eliminations thus far, and 4 more trios need to go down before we get into placement. We're at the 50-50 zone and shots. Beaming players on the move. At this point, they may have to themselves worry about this surface that they're on because there are still players above. See here, here's the shot. Here's the shot. You have to not, you can't tunnel vision for too long. Yeah, you got the knock on Nibs. Fantastic. Now make sure you divert your attention to those that are immediately around you. So I guarantee you, this edit that they're sitting on right now, it is being watched from at least one person above. It would be ridiculous to assume otherwise. You cannot get too confident here. Nibs, the position he was just in moments ago before he got eliminated, now taken over by other players. Walker in the feed, picking up an elim, and here we go, the pressure, the minigun combo, the shockwave to get back into the safe zone, but that does not mean they're going to stop firing. Not Mongraal, not Tfue, not Bugha, continuing this aggressive behavior. 9 eliminations. They do still have a launch pad, and here we go. You see the edits just up above. It blows my mind that no one is taking a peek from the top to see if they can get a hit on somebody. Fratby and Squad are just above them. Mongraal, this team sitting at 55 points. Here we go, a little bit of an edit. It'll look up above. They do that edit and then immediately break to get through as fast as they can. We'll see if they can find a beat on somebody else here.
Yep, half pad comes through. You talk about all eyes on you, Lupo, with that edit. With 30 people just left alive, 14 trios, we're almost at placement. I think the server knows that now as well. The big thing being, every movement you make on the bottom side of this map, anyone trying to get ahead of zone is seen. Not Tfue gets seen first out of everyone on the server by Ghost Aiden, who's also in contention for being a big boy on the leaderboards later after we see the standings on the final game of NA West Game 6. Now the rotations come in on the moving zone. Thankfully, everything's away from the mountain. It's going to be pure skill going forward on natural low ground that doesn't change too much. The health bar of Mongraal Bugha is going to change big time. They have to leave their teammate behind. No chance of a res. No chance to get shields down. A risky launch pad, 16 HP, using the cover of trees to move around. He only has 1 mini to base up with unless he sticks with his teammate. All the hard mats being used, only 200 left. They need to make a split. The minigun is in use in their inventory, but they won't have the room to use it if they don't have the HP.
A sacrificial play there to get out. Down to 2 players left. Not Mongraal, sitting at 6 eliminations and still about 140 HP. Meanwhile, Liquid, Riverson, Cease, and Elevate from 100 Thieves get the knock. Makin goes down. The elimination. Siphon comes through, pushing out and making this tunnel happen as they try to track down as many players as they can on the move. Everybody's got to go north. Cease down to only 82 HP. That one shield right there as well. Going to move through, follow Elevate. You want basically Elevate to be the front of this steam engine, pushing through to the next section of builds, and Cease 113 now. Get a look back, make sure nobody's following a very intelligent play. And that right there is huge for trios. He doesn't have to worry about what's in front. His job is to watch behind, and he does an excellent job. Nobody's back there, but he does have a chance right there for just a second. Maybe a little bit of a pre-fire on the shotty. Finds a teammate knock, but the shotgun comes through, and Aiden goes down. The remainder of that trio is eliminated. Riverson does have to be sacrificed to the storm.
Yep, right now, Cease is going to be the front man of this trio. He's going to be looking everything at the back, all the points available from the storm. Although Elevate might be the one pathing and making the plays in front of him, Cease has to confirm. As I just said, Elevate goes down. He's the last one left, has the shields. The bigs might not be used. Elevate on the bottom. He's going to try to stay protected. He finally goes down. Cease takes an RPG to the face. 3 trios left, 4 people alive. In the last game, 29 HP. The numbers getting lower, lower, and lower in placement and health resources. Cease built fighting in zone for height.